man, RJ, that was such an exciting finish to what, I saw some people calling this the toilet bowl of the NHL, and, for reasons, but still, that was such an exciting finish to the game between two teams that a lot of people have been poking fun at this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they gave each other, a great game that, and just so fun to watch. That
Hmm.
ending, what such a dramatic shootout. Definitely the longest in Kraken history. I didn't
Yes,
double check that, but it has to
it
be.
has to be.
I would remember if there was a longer one. And what a goalie battle, both through overtime and the shootout.
Hmm.
Just such a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, Grubauer was fantastic all night long, stepped up big for them early on in this game when they were just being outshot like crazy. The Kraken, they had a real problem on this one, but Grubauer, came up big. Obviously, that third goal, not really his fault, but
No.
it was great to see him back in there. We could talk more about it later, but he saw a lot of shots early, and I think that just gets him in games. Like you and I have talked about. I thought I saw Sound of Hockey tweet something to that effect too. Like that just seems to be the recipe for success with Grubauer, and then the rest of the team. The Yanni Gord, Appleton, Blackwell line again continues to be amazing. Geeky continues to be great. Yeah, I mean everybody was just all on it.
Yeah, just from top to bottom, things looked, kind of as they should be. It felt like in this game, and I mean, what more can you say about the Gordon Appleton Blackwell line?
Hmm.
Gordon Blackwell again, kind of getting it done shorthanded. Just the pressure,
Hmm.
from Yanni Gord there, forcing that. I know it's, oh, it's a gaff, it's a mistake, and I guess it is, but the pressure causes it
Exactly.
completely. If you're not right on him, that doesn't happen. Um, but yeah, just a great game up and down the lineup. And I really do think there is something to getting Bruce seeing these shots early on.
Agreed. And then I thought Cole Lind had a good game. It
Hmm.
wasn't super flashy or anything, but his forecheck is just so consistent, and I love that from him. That's great. And McCann with that snipe, that was awesome.
Oh, that was so pretty. And as you brought up on Twitter, just how do you leave him that alone, wide open? But really, what it is that Johansson pass.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect the guy who's getting the puck to be able to just behind his back send it immediately to the guy in front. You think you're
Hmm.
probably safe from that. But credit to Johansson, making that happen with the pass.
Yeah, and Donato, well, again proving he should never be out of the lineup again.
Yes, do not ever take him out of the lineup again.
All right, so we'll move over to comments now. Joshua, OMG, that was a crazy finish, super intense. It was Joshua. That was a fantastic game. Great first ever game in franchise history in Montreal. Like
Oh
lived
yeah.
up to the hype of that for sure.
Mm.
Dr. Zayas nail biter at the end. How about that? We got Dr. Zayas in here. That's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
It was a nail biter. It was really good. One of the longer shootouts you'll probably see over the course of a season. It's good.
Hmm.
Um, they're always exciting and particularly interesting because no one was scoring. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
one where, oh, they happened to be scoring at the right times kind of thing. Both goalies really wanted this one. Ty just with the Gru. That is all. I mean, Gru should be first star as far as I'm concerned on this one.
100%. 100%.
And Gregory Grubauer was so clutch in overtime in the shootout. Congrats to JoJo on 400 points. Yeah, quite a milestone for Johansson there.
Yeah.
Picked that up on the Donato goal. Alex, yay. Striatic, Seattle goes to 7-3-1 versus Montreal since 1917 with a plus 26 goal differential.
That's
Striatic,
pretty good.
that's very good against a very historic, franchise with a long, long history of winning. So to be able to hold
Yeah.
that over their heads means something.
And Striatic coming in clutch too with the over 100-year-old stats.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. That's awesome that you're there, bringing that to us, Striatic. Medeiros, inhale the German gentleman. He was
Love it.
so good, so good. And then Striatic with the dominance. It was a dominant performance from him. Really, really happy to see that. Again, anytime he gets those good games, I just feel so happy for him after the way the season's gone for him. Uh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Sergeant Pickles, Groovy was incredible, and the Habs are bad. You know what?
Yep,
They looked
both
okay.
could be
Yeah, both are true, but I was gonna say the Habs looked okay at times. Like that first period, especially, they put a ton of pressure on the Kraken, just forcing turnovers, forcing bad passes, taking advantage of any mistake. And it shows if you look at the shot differential from that first period.
Yeah, and I think that's, kind of a hallmark of this Habs team since St. Louis took over. They're always going to generate some really good offensive chances. How many might go in, that can vary, but
Yeah.
they're always going to look kind of pretty fluid and able to move around in the offensive zone well.
Yeah, and we saw that tonight from them. Lindsay, finally an ECH dance party. Woot woot! It's been a very, very long time.
I know.
It's been a very, very long time. Reading ID, damn, what did Gru have for breakfast? Getting spicy. He was confident as hell in overtime. Yeah, and he was confident really throughout the game. Sometimes that got him into a little bit of trouble, leaving his crease, trying to be aggressive at times. But for the most part, I'm happy by that because, as we saw, obviously he played well tonight. But I just think all goalies kind of need to be in that mindset of, I've got this and I'm going to do everything to help my team win.
Exactly. So much of goaltending is mental, and confident is absolutely the right word for Grubauer tonight. He was just feeling it, and enough to even kind of shove some guys at the end there. If he had there was an extra whack or something, he was not going to take that.
Mm-hmm.
He was comfortable with where he was, and he knew what he was going to let guys get away with and not.
Yeah, and I think historically he's been very good against Montreal, if I'm remembering the broadcast right. And then Alex, Shane Wright watching that game with great interest, I'm sure. Probably, assuming he's not playing. Maybe he's still getting updates on the bench if he was playing.
Yeah, I'm sure his teammates would be sure to update him.
Yeah. Medeiros, we're not great, but not at the bottom yet. Important distinction. That is true. Then Lindsay, also we took them to OT, so they still get a point in the standings for our tanking considerations. Yay. I was thinking about that. If we win, they at least get a point, so it's not that big a deal. Now, if we had lost, it wouldn't have helped in the Shane Wright sweepstakes, but
right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, if you're going to win, you'd want to win in overtime. That's what Larson was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to win this game. Groupie's not allowing another one against them. So I'm just going to tip one in. We'll give them the point for the Shane Wright derby. And then, we'll take care of things in the overtime or the shootout.
Yeah, I'm still just really, really surprised he even tried to play that puck. I don't really know what was going through his mind in that moment.
It's just an instinct thing. At that point, all you ever have time for is just, split second. Do you reach? Do you not?
Yeah. And obviously he knew what had happened the moment it had happened. Gonna jump down to the super chat from Brian. As always, Brian, we appreciate it so much. That's Kraken hockey, baby. Donato jersey, 2 games, 2 goals, 2 points. My stars: first star Grubauer, second star Donato, third star JoJo. If you hate that McCann Gord split there. And then special thanks to ECH. Like, subscribe, and be a cool Patreon. Thanks so much for the shout outs and for the super chat, Brian.
How about that jersey? How about that Donato jersey? 2 games since then, and coming off of healthy scratches too. It's not like Donato was on this heater and then the jersey arrived. No, he was a healthy scratch. Brian gets the jersey, and boom, 2 games, 2 goals.
Yeah, magic jersey. It's the only explanation.
And Brian deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, that's all that there is to it, and it kind of dovetails into LB, which is the next comment here, which is just sign Donato now. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly.
Although maybe right now his asking price is just, it's just going up.
They should have signed him when he was a healthy scratch.
Exactly.
Just be like, hey.
I'm sure the PA wouldn't have had anything to say about something like that.
Yeah, of course.
Sergeant Pickle. Joshua giving Stratic the shout out for that awesome stat earlier. And then Sergeant Pickle's 3 duds, Larson Lazon, shootout accuracy. So obviously the accuracy wasn't necessarily there for anybody in the shootout, either team. I tweeted it, I texted you before I'd even tweeted it. I wanted Larson in that shootout to try to redeem himself. I'm telling you, he would have scored.
No, and that's great. As soon as I read that text from you, I'm like, oh, yeah, that would be perfect. I think I tweeted, let Alexiak shoot, but just because I've seen him in practice and he's been good. But Larson would have been even better.
Yeah. All right, so I see, obviously we just got Brian's 3 stars. We just read the 3 duds from Sergeant Pickles. I'm going to read a couple people's 3 stars, and then we can give our 3 stars, okay, RJ?
Yeah.
So Sergeant Pickles, 3 studs. McCann, Johansson, Grubauer. And from Lindsay here, Grubauer, McCann, JoJo. Those are the only ones I'm seeing right here. So RJ, who are your 3 stars for the Kraken tonight?
Okay, Gru number one. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any debate there. Grubauer first star.
Agreed.
Second star, and it's tough because I it was a very hectic night for me. I probably missed a lot of the first period, some of the second, but certainly caught the third period in that ending. So I'm gonna go with Donato number two, and then maybe McCann three.
I was gonna say McCann came in pretty clutch there. That was a really big goal for them. So I think McCann needs to be there. It is a tough toss up between JoJo and Donato. I'm gonna give it to Donato though because his goal was like a response goal, and that I think helped them out in a time in the game in which they were struggling. Like I said earlier, their shot differential early on in this one was not kind. So I think that was a big one. So I'm gonna go ahead. Now it was off of a wide shot from Johansson that Donato collected off the end boards and then shot and scored, and that's what gave Johansson his 400th point. So maybe you could say the same thing for Johansson on that play, but I think I have to go Donato. I've been banging his drum too much lately to not go with him, right?
Exactly, got to give it to Donato.
It's like a whole legal thing. Striatic, has anyone peeled Medeiros off the floor yet?
Good question.
Good question. Leanne, my heart is still racing. Wow, Grubauer was superb. He was absolutely fantastic. So happy to see that for him. And then Hunter, both teams wanted to lose so bad. Lol. You can certainly maybe look at it that way based on some of the plays made later in this game.
Yeah, there were a few attempts to kind of hand it the other way, but hey, but you got to know your opponent, know that they're not really capable of taking it from you, so you can get away with that.
Exactly. Sergeant Pickles, the only way to make this better is to pass the Habs in the draft lottery to get right anyways, lol. It's totally possible.
Yeah, and realistically speaking, there's not a huge difference in lottery odds between 1, 2, 3. You just still and you're still not favored at all to get the first overall pick in any of those spots. Even if you're first, chances are you're not going to be picking first. So you might as well just be in your slot. Just if you got to be in kind of the bottom 5 to have a real chance.
Right. I mean, let's see, finishing dead last only guarantees you a top 3 pick right now. Yeah. So, it isn't all that it's cracked.
Most likely third.
Yeah. If history is anything to go by. Although they tweaked it this year, so they went back to the whole you can only move up 4 spots, I think, things. So.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay, I told myself that if Jared McCann scored tonight, then I would buy his jersey with the inaugural season patch. Let's go. Number 16, here I come. All right, there we go. Maybe we'll get another
deal. McCann making it happen.
Maybe we can get another Magic jersey going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then we
certainly not one he'll ever regret getting too. I mean, that's
oh yeah, choice. No, it's a great choice, Lindsay. I'm sure you'll enjoy it for a very, very long time. And I saw on Twitter, I believe it was Ty and Brian doing what they were calling the ECH jersey pose, where it's taking that picture from behind, pointing to the name on the back of the jersey. So Lindsay, you're gonna have to get in on that with everybody else too. Once you get that thing, we got to get Medeiros in the Grubauer jersey doing that too.
Yeah,
that's what needs to happen as well. Reading ID, I wouldn't call Lazon a dud. He actually had a good game, I thought, other than the penalty. Yeah, I thought he was okay. Really, Vince Dunn was the defenseman that really struggled in this one for me. He just go for it.
Yeah, no, I would say he just looked off. He's a guy who, again, is very built on confidence, and when he's got it, he's got it. When he doesn't, things can get bad like that. Yeah, Lozon, I agree, but that penalty was really bad, and because it was off of a turnover too that forced him to do it. His own turnover. But other than that, he was okay.
I was going to say, didn't we make a deal with him earlier in the season where it was like, okay, we'll give you one bad play each night if you then just like clean everything else up? Like, was it like 15 games into the season? Did we make that deal with him? Like, there it was.
We did, yeah. So it was certainly an improvement at that time.
Yeah, so it's all good. He's living up to it. But yeah, Dunn, I don't know entirely what it was. I guessed on Twitter, hopefully it's just the end of being on a long road trip, because otherwise it was just very uncharacteristic for him, missing pucks. Passes to kind of nowhere, just straight up turning it over to people like very easily. I don't know what was going on with Vince Dunn tonight.
Yeah, agreed.
Medeiros, I'm literally shaking. I was so stressed out.
Oh no.
It's exciting though. It's good stress. It's good stress if there
Yeah.
is such a thing.
I mean, hey, my heart was racing all through that overtime and the shootout. I was on edge.
Me too. I was trying to be very careful not to do like anything different. I didn't want to jinx anything. It gets very stressful. Tom, what a bad accident by Larson with 2 minutes left. It's too bad he accidentally tipped that puck past Grew with the winky face. Obviously alluding to sending the game to overtime so both teams get a point, stay close together in the standings there. You know, as someone who's been a big Larson guy, I could just say that, you know, maybe, just saying. He's a very smart player.
He's smart, isn't he?
He is very smart. Very uncharacteristic move if that was a mistake. Emphasis on the if. Ty, Grubauer, 3 stars of the game. I've never seen him play like this in Colorado. Lol, mind blown. Wow, heavy praise there from Ty.
Yeah, after that game.
Yeah, deserved. Sergeant Pickles, it's not that Lauzon is bad overall, but the fact that I expect 1 to 2 penalties a game isn't great. Again, it was the deal we all agreed to.
Yep.
We agreed on their behalf, RJ. That's what it was.
There we go. Yep.
Lindsay, Larson is the new take commander. He wanted it to go to OT, lol. The whole team took too many penalties. Can't be playing with fire like that night in, night out. No, and that has been a problem on this road trip, especially these Canadian games.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a problem. What was it? Six power plays for Montreal. There are not many teams where you can give them 6 power plays and they're not going to burn you. And I mean, they were even a +1 with the PK score and a short-handed goal. But yeah, lucky it's Montreal. You know, you see what Toronto does to you when you allow 6 power plays the other way. I was
going to say, the fact that twice this week they've allowed 6 power plays is not good at all. Thankfully for the Kraken, PK looked great all night. Obviously, you get that shorty. Almost had a second one on the same penalty kill, which would have been awesome.
That was amazing.
Appleton had the one taken away last game too, right?
Yeah,
poor Mason Appleton. He must be hating video review right now.
I know.
But
it's tough for him too. And also, I just want to point out he's been playing a lot better since we were kind of on him about maybe he should be the guy out of the lineup for Donato. He's been doing great.
I totally agree. So and then the other thing I want to point out is we got a power play goal. Woo.
Yeah, and off some quick puck movement too. I mean, that was actually some skill taken over there with Johansson making that quick pass, McCann putting it home.
Yeah. No, it was good and good player movement, good spot for McCann there. Obviously blown coverage from Montreal. No one can deny that given how much time and space he had, but still he exploited it. Stratic McCann did so many great things, including his goal. He had that one play in overtime when he was so ridiculously strong on his skates in a tight turn under pressure. I know exactly the play you're talking about, Stratic. He's just a beast, and I think that now that the contract situation's all taken care of, coming back from being on IR and everything, I think we're just going to see the rest of the season. I know he's shooting for 30 goals. I saw something about that on Twitter. I think he could get there.
He can certainly get it, yeah.
It's going to be really fun and really fun to watch him for years to come in Seattle. Schultz, Montreal gave the Kraken their first home win and now their first win in Canada. Ooh.
I like that.
That is cool. Yeah. It's that history. That 100-year plus history. We got Montreal's number. What you going to do? It's all the concrete sidewalks. That's what it is.
Yep. Clearly.
Valentino, what a great way to get your 400th point, JoJo. Yes, it was a funny way to do it. But, that's what you do. And then Kraken on the Habs confirmed from Stratic. Ty, I think JoJo 400 was an assist unless that was on the Appleton goal. Yeah, it was an assist. It was on the Donato goal.
Yeah, the shot that went wide popped out to Donato right after.
And then Sergeant Pickles, Forsland preemptively saying before JoJo went to shoot that he is ready to go home was incredible. Oh, I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, I missed that one too. That was one of those ones where I was out. Got to go back and look at that.
Well, I think he means on the shootout goal.
Oh,
I was on a different stream.
I was just too
reasons.
I don't know. I was too locked in. I couldn't hear anything John was saying.
Yeah. Lindsay, regular season series sweep of the Habs complete. They get to join the Panthers in Davy Jones' locker. I love that we've swept one of the best teams and one of the worst teams in the league.
It's fitting for the Kraken, isn't it?
It is. It shows just how capable we are of playing up or down to anybody.
Exactly.
Let's see. Sergeant Pickles, I like this. ECH, F them draft odds party.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep, that's the official name of this one.
Exactly. We'll have to remember that for the Arizona game. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we'll be able to use that for the Arizona game. Fingers crossed. Tyler, I'm pissed. I'm in Arizona, and of course the one game that isn't on ESPN Plus is the Kraken game. Hotels don't get NHL Network. Sad day to miss a win. Very, very sad day. I blame Hackstall still. Yes, but on the plus side, Tyler, I know that is a sucky situation. I totally get it. I feel for you. On the other hand, you didn't have to write ugh, right?
How about that?
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. And then going down to Brian with his second super chat of the night. Thanks so much, Brian. Shout out to Striatic. His hockey knowledge also great. Follow him. He's from Alberta, knows hockey, and has cerebral thoughts. Love this community. Love you too, Brian, and Striatic, and everybody else who's with us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And right on the money. Striatic's got some really good comments always.
Yep. Joshua, I get the situation and not wanting to call anything in overtime, but can you explain the situation with Grubauer? So Grubauer getting all testy. I didn't really see anything too overt. I get that he's blocking Grubauer from coming out and playing the puck, but he's within his rights to do that, right?
Yeah, he is. I mean, Grubauer's exiting the crease there, trying to go out and play the puck. You're entitled to that ice. It's not in the crease. He's not, Grubauer is skating into that ice, so you can get in the way certainly. And some shoving ensues. You see that kind of stuff. Just scrums in front of the net. Usually the goalies aren't involved, but it happens. And a lot of times those scrums in front of the net, there won't be any penalties coming off of it. It usually takes a lot. And I think both guys just kind of gave as good as they got and were separated, and that's the end of that.
Right, and I think the only reason it went so long before other people got involved was because it was 3-on-3. So you didn't necessarily have someone close by to come in there. But important also to note, right, earlier in the third period, the net gets brought down on Grubauer, and he was pretty upset about that too. So I think he was already a little fired up.
Exactly, and understandably so, because it kind of came down on the back of his leg. I mean, you never know what can happen. If it traps the back of your leg there, that can get real ugly. So I understand the frustration.
Yeah, but to be specific with your question, Joshua, the Montreal player is totally within his rights when Grubauer leaves the crease like that to be there and kind of pester him and not let him play the puck. It's just like any other player at that point. You can't check him the way you can other players still, but you can certainly be in his way and harassing him to the point where he can't do his job, so to speak. Radical Progression. Been following ECH for a while. First time being able to join y'all post-game. What a game. Thanks so much for being able to join us this time. And yes, what a game to be your first post-game live.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't have picked a better one. And welcome.
Yeah. Reading ID, welcome. Good timing. We finally got a post-game dance party. That is true. Striatic, we actually won a game. That first win of March? Think so?
No, March 2nd was the Kraken day.
All right. Yeah, you're right. Well, then we've reached our quota for the month. We've got our 2 wins.
See if we can beat it.
Yeah. Brian, we not only won a game, we have not lost to the oldest franchise in hockey. It's something.
That's true.
We officially have another Colin goalie kiss. That's the most important thing about having Colin in the lineup is the goalie kisses.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, if only we could have seen that on the broadcast, that would have been good.
I know. We'll all get it on Twitter later. Get our Colin.
And for all the home ones, I got you. I'll zoom in with my phone camera and make sure to get it.
Yep. Hunter, even at the number 2, our most likely spot, we end up the worst we'd end up is the 4th pick. It's fine. I think anywhere finishing in the top 3, the Kraken are going to be pretty solid because you're guaranteed top 5 pick at that point. Stratic, I feel the ECH live post-game show needs lights and lasers and pyro next season for Kraken wins. I know. Okay, so I had researched into doing stuff for on the screen things like lights and confetti, like maybe the little
Right.
confetti cannons and stuff. And I had some stuff set up, and then it fell through last second on me. And then I've just been busy. Like tonight, I thought about it again. I was like, oh man, but I just didn't have time, unfortunately. But I'm gonna have it all ready before the next game. So next win, we're gonna have something. I don't know exactly what yet, but I'm gonna make sure we have something for the dance party.
Yeah, that'd be great. And yeah, as for tonight, no pyrotechnics in my grandpa's office. So
yeah, that probably works out good. I gotta readjust everything since I got the banner here. I'm assuming it's flammable. I think it's it's at least better to assume that way than find out the other way. So it's just gotta rework some things now.
Yeah.
Scott, I know you had an assist tonight, but can someone please enlighten me why Morgan Geekie over Jake Bean? Ooh. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I think the number one reason was the Kraken were already going to end up with too many defensemen. As it is, they're carrying 8 defensemen on the roster. It's one more than you'll usually see for an NHL team. So I think the biggest thing was the opportunity to bring in a young, big, defensively responsible kind of face-off specialist center that you can hope you can mold into being a good point producer, rather than just kind of adding another guy that you kind of already have.
Yeah, I think that's well said. Positional value, I think, played a part there. And of course, Ron Francis knows both of those two guys really well from his time in Carolina. Yeah. I think he probably saw a little bit more upside, or at least raw kind of skill to work with there in Geekie. And, again, positionally, that helps you more.
Yeah, exactly. I think having that depth down the center is a big deal. I'm looking to see what Jake Bean's done in Columbus so far this year. 16 points in 44 games. It's not bad for him.
What kind of ice time's he getting?
It doesn't say. Well, it's bouncing all over the place in his last 5. It doesn't say on NHL's website for whatever reason. It'll only give it to you for the last couple games, so I gotta go to Hockey Reference real quick. He's getting almost 21 minutes, so he's playing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's at least a good sign as far as how much they trust him. I know Columbus kind of in that mini rebuild there, trying to give their young guys a shot.
Especially on the blue line. Like, they kind of have nobody there, so I know why they brought him in and why they're giving him all that. Yes, let's see. Striatic, was the Colin kiss on the Root Sports broadcast? I think I missed it. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't watching that broadcast.
Was there a Root broadcast tonight?
There was.
Okay, there was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so neither of us were able to see that. I watched on NHL Network.
Yeah, I think it was only local. Barbara, glad they picked up a weekend game to win. Happy I could watch it live. Now off to bed. 4:30 a.m. here. Go for it. I totally feel you. Thanks for staying up and joining us.
Yeah.
Reading ID Stratic. I don't know. I got the Hockey Night Canada broadcast, but just saw on Twitter. Yeah, I'm sure it's on Twitter. Kraken Twitter account better be on that. They know what the people want. I'm sure they are. Striatic, Sounders and Kraken won on the same day, and all it took was absolutely dismantling our NFL franchise.
Oh man,
it's
worth it.
It's I think it was worth it. Jumping down, Kitty B Kraken with the super chat. Kraken win in ECH. Perfect Saturday night. Still hoping for a miraculous run to the playoffs. I mean, is it still statistically possible?
Yes, it is mathematically possible.
There we go.
Nobody's been eliminated or clinched a playoff spot yet. It is too early for that. What's the most points the Kraken could get? Just for Kitty B Kraken, since he's thinking that way.
For Kitty B Kraken, right. Got 21 games left, so 2 points over 21. 42 more points.
Add that to the 42 they have right now, and that's 84 points. That'd be a very low playoff bar.
I was gonna say, I'm sure somebody has squeaked into a wild card spot with 84 points before, but I don't think that happens often.
Actually,
I know it's very low. Valentina, the Blackwell Gord Appleton line is still rocking. They looked especially good in the first. They did. They were. No, because Cole Lind was doing a good job in the first. I was going to say they were the only line that really looked dominant in that first period. I will say this. They were the one line that wasn't really making mistakes in that first period, that wasn't allowing odd man rushes going back the other way and stuff. Because they were applying pressure the whole time. Like, it's not even that they're like especially defensively responsible. They just control the puck when they're out there. It's awesome. Lindsay Stratic, yes, I love McCann's effort to back check and break up that potential 2-on-1. That has been quietly, I think the thing that's impressed me the most from him this season is
he's so good defensively.
He's so good defensively, and he's very committed to it too.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that I think other forwards, get more credit for, like a Wenberg or whatever. But I think McCann's been better defensively than Wenberg has been.
Oh, for sure.
And then you look at guys like Eberle, and it's just not even close.
Well, yeah, no, it's never really been a strength of his, but
yeah.
But Geeky's been solid defensively. I mean, we've even seen times this year where Geeky was covering for whatever center he was on the ice with, from the winger spot, like covering defensively for him, which I thought was really interesting. Never quite seen that before, but it made a lot of sense. I like that utilization by Hackstall. Ty, okay, I've calmed down finally. Have to point out the crowd again. They brought it in the third, and the team responded. I'm headed back to CPS April 1st, and I have high expectations. So, you mean CPA? Climate Pledge?
I would imagine so.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, should be good. And as far as the crowd tonight in Montreal, I mean, they did their thing.
Oh yeah,
I think they said it was their first full capacity game.
It was. That's what I heard.
A couple years, yeah. So makes a lot of sense there.
Mm-hmm.
And glad they get to enjoy and experience that all again. Ben, good work, Kraken. Good jobs indeed. Maybe not Larson for that one play, but Joshua, the player's holding Grubauer from behind. He does not have a right to do that. If he was in front of Grubauer and just standing ground, but not the case to me. I didn't see him holding Grubauer from behind, but they didn't really show it that much on the Hockey Night in Canada broadcast.
Yeah, I thought he was at least in front of him or to the side.
Right, because what I saw was his stick pinned under Grubauer's arm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure his hand was probably then right there, behind his arm. Yeah. So maybe that's what it was. But that could just be a difference in broadcasts too. Valentina, I find myself enjoying Blackwell more and more. I love the face-off in the first where he refused to let Armia, who was towering over him, push him around. I legit thought they were going to get into a scrap off that one. They were really going back and forth at it, RJ, to the point where the linesman who was going to drop the puck, he basically stayed crouched, just like levitated backwards, slid backwards, like talked to both of them and just like shifted forward, never like taking a full stride. I loved it. And then the puck dropped and they just like skated away from each other. But I was like, you don't usually see as much jostling as there was. Right. To the point where Blackwell was basically standing up, like just outwardly going at him. Like it was legitimate. I was really surprised they didn't go for it, but yes, that was a lot of fun. Love having Blackwell healthy and everything again.
Yeah, he's fearless.
Medeiros, I think part of the OT issue was that the guy almost tried to grab the puck from Gru's hand. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah. Although, again, in overtime, he was. But in overtime, when the goalie tries to come out and play it like that, guys have a lot of leeway to pester the goalie there. Because, again, if Gru's able to get rid of that puck clean, it's probably a 2-on-1 or a breakaway the other way. Because, once that puck goes into the net, it goes into his glove, both Habs players are kind of going behind the net. They're out of the play, essentially, right. Which is why you got to be very careful about when you let the play extend like that.
Right. And I would much rather have a player in a situation like that go for the glove and try to free the puck from the glove hand rather than try to do something and take a smack at the back of his legs or something, an exposed part of Grubauer, because those goalie pads, they're kind of only designed for one side of them. So,
yeah.
You never want to see somebody all over your goalie, but I don't think that there was anything malicious there.
Mm-hmm.
Ty, did anyone miss Wenny? Not last few games, Wenny lol, all season long, Wenny. I don't know. I mean, they played well without him.
They did, and he was a guy we were kind of talking about, thinking maybe they should scratch. Mm-hmm. I mean, it takes an injury to make it happen, and he had just been playing really well. So
I know. That's been
the timing.
That's what a theme that's been all season long for the Kraken, right? Guys will just start finally playing well, and then boom, on COVID or on IR for whatever reason.
Yeah, it really has been. I mean, gosh, you think even back like Drieger when he finally got things going again, COVID immediately, just you could name a bunch more examples, but just tough trend for them this year.
It really has been. Let's see. Lindsay Grubauer playing his best hockey when he's not acting very gentlemanly. The germ angry, not so gentleman.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. That's another good one there, Lindsay.
I'm glad it's that way, because some goalies, if you get them mad, it just throws them off their game completely, and they just fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
But Grubauer is not one of those guys.
No, and it's nice to have a goalie that isn't one of those guys. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Sergeant Pickles, would be fun to see points percentage for individual players. Lind has to be pretty good. It would be interesting to go back and see, because I don't know offhand. And then Sadie Cole Lind goalie kiss was on the Root broadcast. Awesome. Stratic also confirming that. Awesome. They know what the people want.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to everything but putting the shots on goal numbers as part of the on-screen graphic permanently. Exactly. That's the one thing. Hunter, I know Gru has been playing better of late, but why is goals saved above expected still so high at minus 32.2? I still notice he lets in leaky goals sometimes. Yeah, he's not like back to he's like Vezina caliber Grubauer again. He is definitely not back there, Hunter. He has had issues in really almost all of the games, even since he's been playing better. That being said, he like tonight, he was an above average starter looking,
Yeah, for sure. And I think
appropriate.
Yeah, and that number, like, let's see, I'm trying to find what the expected goals were. Like, the Habs had 2.78 expected goals tonight. And yeah, Grubauer allowed 3. So that's going to add to the negative total. But you can see how that doesn't tell the entire story.
Right. I mean, because the Larson goal is not.
Yeah.
That's not on Grubauer. Like, ideally, you'd want him to also stop that because it's kind of right in front. But again, he's not at all thinking that he has to worry about that at all.
Yeah, perfect deflection from a guy you cannot expect because it's your own guy. Yeah, but anyway, you can see how it doesn't tell the whole story. And again, the number got worse tonight, as great as he played.
Yeah, so it's just one of those unfortunate things. And at this point, the sample size is so large of the bad games that even on the good nights, it's not going to kind of salvage things from a season-long perspective.
I mean, exactly. Just to get to even, he's got to basically face 32 expected goals and just get a shutout clean all the way through that. That's probably talking the next month, basically, and just not allow a single goal. So it's just a long ways up to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'll be fun, though, come the end of the season to see if we can break it down like February on. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's going to be the stuff that we can look at as we go into the off season.
Yep.
Sasquatch, I'm out on the road tonight, so I wanted to drop by and say, way to go, Kraken. Huge dub tonight and great way to end the roadie. Love what you guys do, ECH. Much respect. Thanks so much, Sasquatch. Love you too.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping by. It's awesome.
And then Lindsay, got to watch my first ever Sounders game today, and they won it. 100% win rate when Lindsay is in the crowd. You're welcome, Seattle.
Nice.
This is good to know. So
keep that going.
I was going to say, everyone knows who to give a ticket to come playoff time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, advertise that loud and clear.
Exactly. Harley B, so relieved for Gru. He was awesome. My prayers answered. A W in a 3 Canadian city run. Yes, the guys really need to practice the flick it up 7th try. Follow Johansson's example.
Yeah, lifting that puck on the shootouts. But hey, they got one.
Yeah, and some phrasing issues when it came to the Hockey Night in Canada broadcast for McCann there at the end too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Just lots of talks of him not being able to get it up.
Oh, okay.
He couldn't lift the puck, and it was just, they just kept going, and it was just like, maybe stop, guys. They were questionable quite a few times tonight, actually. Ty, CPA, not CPS. Oh, man. It's fine, Ty. We got you. Valentina, agree that Lind has had a great first period. He was solid through the rest of the game, too. I agree with that. And then also from Valentina, we could do a lot worse than having him around full time. I agree with that too.
Yep. And I think he's going to be around full time after the trade deadline.
I do too. He's I mean, for a while now, he has been the go-to call up for them for a reason. So Let's see. Ty Jojo takes the Davy Jones hat tonight. I like it, but I don't. No one wanted that game anywhere near Philip freaking Grubauer. So it kind of interesting, but I get it because it's a big milestone.
That's true. Yeah, career milestone that I guess kind of trumps anything in the game itself. But yeah, good for both of them, really.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and was 11-year career for Johansson, so being able to stay around in the NHL that long, be consistent, and be wanted by teams and all of that stuff, like to get them to the 400 point mark, it means a lot to those kind of career middle six, bottom six guys. It speaks exactly to a lot of their ability, so I see why they did what they did. Medeiros, I just watched the replay. He came at Gru from behind and was holding Gru's arm. All right, so there was a little bit of a hold there. We couldn't see. Valentina, the Habs feed had a sweet photo montage for Lauzon. Did the Kraken feed have anything? I don't know. We'll see if anybody else answers. The Kraken feed. Yeah. So, all right. So, well, let's go back to the Medeiros one for a sec. So, if he was holding Grubauer, it makes... I mean, obviously, it all made sense why Grubauer got upset in that situation. But I go with what you had said earlier. In overtime, in a situation like that, refs are not going to call that like in any game ever.
Yep, agreed.
Let's see. And, everybody, we can all debate the merits of that, but it's just the reality. And the players know it. Stratic, maybe Grubauer doesn't like any non-Cowboy and Colorado Rockies hats. that would be funny. Like, you go to give it to him, he just refuses.
Yep. Put a Rockies logo on it and I'll think about it.
Yeah, make it a Cowboy hat. Stick some barnacles on my Cowboy hat. We'll get this done. We need to get him the Doug Dimmadome hat. Just go all the way up. Let's go. Stratic, they were trying to harm our goalie. Yeah, I guess. When aren't they?
They were trying to get the puck the puck from going the other way. A breakaway was going the other way if he was able to get rid of it. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say if that's Yanni Gord skating with the puck, he's probably gonna do something similar to that as well. Reading ID, are the Kraken 2-2 wins in March with Lind in the lineup? Am I remembering right? Was Lind there for Kraken Day?
Yes, he was, and then was sent down immediately after.
There you go. Reading ID.
Right.
Cole Lind undefeated in the month of March.
Yep.
Let's go.
You guys pull up the best stats, things like that.
That's awesome. I know. That's what makes this so great. I mean, on top of everything else that makes it all so great. But having everybody able to do that stuff on here and share with everybody is so awesome. Let's see. Ty, have to point out how fantastic Sheahan is at wasting time. The dude is money on the PK. He really is. He has been all season. It's been really fun to watch him out there.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another reason why he just continues to stay in the lineup, like showing his value doing that kind of thing. How about him going in the shootout, though?
That was when, like, the first time the moment I saw him, that's when I was like, why isn't this Larson? Like, this should be Larson.
Actually, yeah, that's what I started thinking. Okay, who should they actually let shoot?
Yeah, because I was kind of surprised. I was like, what? I mean, you've seen them practice, more than just about anybody. When they practice this kind of stuff, is he like great on breakaways and shootout drills?
He's okay. I'd put him in like 70th percentile or whatever. I know there's not like 100 guys on the team, but thereabouts. I'd put like top third, I guess, but certainly not high end. Like from what I've seen, Alexiak does better. It's a shame Will Borgen was in the lineup because, as I've been saying, like he will score in the shootout if you ever put him there. Unfortunately, he wasn't in the lineup tonight.
Yeah. It was an interesting call, and then he tried to take out the goalie. Speaking of guys taking out goalies,
yeah, I know.
Just skate.
That's why you put him in
first, right in there. Yeah, threw him off. Couldn't make a save. Couple guys later. That's what it's all about. Sadie Sportsnet Twitter posted the clip of Gru getting spicy with being held. If you want a replay, all right, so we could check that out after this. And then absurdly saying Grubauer does have a Mariners cap now and he's worn it. I remember seeing a photo maybe on Instagram. So
actually, yeah, I did see that actually. They gave him a Mariners hat.
So I was gonna say, yeah, you can't be wearing a Colorado Rockies hat still walking around Seattle that. You just can't. So he's got a 3 hat rotation.
There you go. That's
it's important to note. Madero, stop being Habs apologist. This is the ECH dance party. We'll stop.
All right, we're done.
Let's see. Ty Grubauer rocks the Veterans Day hat around the ice. As a veteran myself, I love it. Okay, so it's up to 4 hats now. Again, this is what everybody, comes in handy, having everybody here for this. Reading ID, it's because I don't remember any feelings of sadness at missed opportunities for goalie kisses. So that would definitely
clues you in.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. There we go. And again, reading ID, we appreciate it a lot. Striatic, Lind is unstoppable. It'll be fun to see him get some more starts down the stretch as the roster thins out post deadline. I'm definitely excited for that.
Yep.
Let's see. I just read Striatics. Okay, it's highs. Shea was so bad on the shooty lol. Ran out of ice and hit the tendy lol. I love for him for the PK, but yeah, it didn't look good. It looked like something I would do. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty much.
It was brutal. Absurdly saying, Medeiros, I think the M's gave it to him. There was some back and forth between Kraken Twitter and Mariners Twitter. Mariners Twitter said they'd make sure it happened. So there we go. They got it done. Brian with the salute to Ty. Both veterans. Sergeant Pickles, of course, also a veteran. So shout out to all 3 of them. And then Striatic. Actually, is it possible the Kraken get back a serious dead weight heavy contract and the player actually plays a bunch of post-deadline games with the player, with the Kraken? Yeah, I guess it's possible.
It is. And I guess the situation they'd be looking to do that is if a team needed to free up cap space, and it would be a guy on an expiring deal, so a pending unrestricted free agent it would be. And I mean, it's possible. I mean, with the player like that, probably if he's on a big contract too, I don't know, might get him into the lineup, just see what he can do. It doesn't make sense to have him just kind of sitting there.
I was going to say it makes sense, RJ, but then we miss out on goalie kisses from Cole Lind, so I'm not sure we want that.
Lind will be in the lineup, but it's just getting to the next guys like an Alex True or whoever else. And I'd take, big contract cap dump guy over Alex True.
Yeah. Lindsay, next game is the Geo 1000 games celebration at Climate Pledge. Do you think he gets traded the day after that, or will they wait until right before the deadline to move him? So we kind of talked about this the other day, but at the bottom line is I think it can just legitimately happen whenever. Like whenever a deal gets done, it gets done. I still think that there's going to be a domino effect when it comes to blue liners this trade deadline, and I don't think he's the first domino.
Exactly. I think it's probably, if I had to pick, I think it'd be Sherratt would be the first one to go with Montreal. And yeah, I think a Geo trade, again, it could happen whenever. If Ron Francis tonight gets the offer that he feels is, at the proper value and he wants to pull the trigger on, he's going to do it. He's not going to let that celebration get in the way of making a good deal. But I do think it's likely to come after the 1K celebration.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. And, I would have also said Chychrun could be that first domino, but after Arizona's reported asking price, leaked, I don't know that
that's what you can do when you have no time pressure to move him.
Right. And you're super hot. The hottest team in hockey, the Arizona Coyotes. Go figure. Medeiros, I think that's what happens on the other thing there. And then Ty, dear Vince Dunn, find yourself again, buddy. I think he will. Like I said, it's been a long road trip now. It's got several days before the next game, right? The next game's not till next Wednesday.
Yeah, it's not till next Wednesday, so I think they got 3 days off. Well, not off. They're gonna have some practices, but they've got 3 days in between.
Yeah. But yes, but also Vince Dunn. The next game's against Tampa. Find yourself. Be beneficial to do that sooner rather than later.
Exactly.
Let's see, Stratic, USA versus Canada sled hockey final tonight. Ooh, that's exciting. Gonna have to check that out after this. And then Lindsay, Chychrun with an injury tonight, right? Could be interesting to see how long he's out. Ooh, that does make things interesting.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, with any injury, hope it's not serious, but that could definitely shake up the market, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I just searched Chikrin on Twitter here to see what it is, but
because I believe he was really the only blue liner that was, of like top significance for trade deadline that was going to have term.
Really. Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why it's a big deal, and extremely reasonable term. 4.6 per year cap hit.
Oh yeah, what a contract for him for that. Another example of why it's good to sign those guys, younger, and just sign them with term, if you think you know what you have.
Let's see. We got both Ty and Stratic talking about the women's USA versus Canada game from earlier. Canada beat USA in overtime in women's hockey friendly today. There, you're all caught up to date on international hockey. And Ty pointing out own goal, lost it. Is that true? Team USA own goal in overtime? That is brutal.
Ooh. Yeah, that's rough.
Let's see. Valentina, I've retired my Dunn jersey, hopefully not permanently. I don't think it'll be permanently.
No,
you're going to be fine. And then Brian, good night, fam. Top 3 draft choice. Here we come. Donato belongs. Donato for sure belongs. Good night, Brian.
For sure.
Let's see. Own goal or genius MPP bank shot. You decide.
Pick your poison, Team USA.
Yeah, that's tough. I want to see that.
You don't put it in your own net. Poulin's gonna put it in your net for you.
Yeah, Ty confirmed that. Yeah, I want to see that now. All right. Then I think that just about does it for everybody. Coming up on an hour. I'll do a quick last call. But otherwise, just, great night. Got another ECH dance party. It's always fun to have those.
Love it.
They mean so much when there's so long between them, too. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Yep. That's it. Kraken fans will always appreciate a win. We'll never take a Kraken win for granted.
Yes. All right. Lindsay pointing this out. I meant to remind everybody, and I've forgotten all the excitement of overtime and everything. But Lindsay says good night. Don't forget to set your clocks forward and enjoy the shortest weekend of the year. That is true. Daylight saving time. You all know what word I'm thinking.
Yeah. But hey, more sunlight later.
That's true.
For those who enjoy it.
That is true. Yeah, certainly up in Seattle, going to start getting that more and more too as we move into summer. Those nights get long up there. It's fun. All right. So, Ty, what a game. Great feed tonight. That's 18, right?
18 wins on the season?
We will break 20. Yeah, it does have to be. Or is that 17?
It's 18.
Cool. All right. Yep. So, yeah, we are getting
close.
We will break 20. We will break 20. What did we set the over
under at?
22 and a half?
Yep, something like that.
Let's see. We seem to be the 2 best teams worldwide in hockey, but yeah, Canada in the women's game today. Thanks for the cheer up, Lindsay. I'm telling you. Shall I retweet the daylight saving time video, Dylan? Yeah, go for that, everybody. If you don't follow Absurdly Sane on Twitter. Oh, man, it was a funny video because it's very accurately represents what we all feel about it. It's like a fake trailer for a movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and it's all that good, like kind of film school overacting, ridiculous props and stuff. But it's as I said the other day, it's adult nightmare fuel. That's what it is.
That's always good to go watch.
Yep, you used to be afraid of what was under your bed. Now you're just afraid of what your clock's gonna do while you're sleeping.
It's funny.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us for this one. Great Kraken win. We'll see if we can keep this rolling. Got a little bit of a long break. We'll see y'all for the next one of these on Wednesday. But should be good. Get to face Lightning again. They played them decent last time, so excited to see.
We'll be back at home.
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be fun. All right, everybody. Take care, and we will see you all next time.